Welcome to the Species Canine Podcast. I'm Jared, your host. Today, we are discussing a dog breed history that has been requested. So let's jump into it. The Akita. All right, so the Akita is an ancient and noble guardian breed of Japan. This dog was once faced with complete annihilation and extinction. It saw nobility and high praise among samurais and the ruling class, and is now identified as two distinct lines, the American and the Japanese line, but still holds true to their steadfast loyalty, strength, and endurance as a breed. So if you're simply here because you're a history buff or you love dogs or both, welcome to the podcast. And we're talking about the Akita. The Akita is a bear-like giant of Japan, very powerful, and has become increasingly popular throughout the world and has a very rich history of culture that precedes them. The Akita story begins in the mountains of Japan, specifically in the Akita prefecture of the island of Honshu, which is where the breed gets its name. We're talking about the region of harsh winters, dense forests, and rugged terrain. These dogs were there to survive and work and hunt and could not be a timid, small, easily deterred dog. Archaeologists have evidence suggesting that this dog existed more than 10,000 years ago in Japan, where they were used as hunting companions to the indigenous Matagi people who used them to track and hold large game such as black bears, wild boars, and deer. The dogs worked in small packs, cornering their prey and keep them at bay until the hunters arrived. The job required them to be courageous, have massive endurance, and a independent streak to allow them to make independent decisions while hunting. By the 1600s, the Akita had become more than just a hunting dog. During the Edo period of Japan's feudal era, owners of Akitas became a symbol of status. Only the imperial family and ruling class of the samurai were even permitted to keep them. These dogs were pampered, spoiled beyond recognition, fed special diets, given special leashes and collars, and your status as an individual was predicated that by how your Akita was presented. There was formal ceremonies surrounding the care and specific language used to speak about them. The Akita was deeply woven into Japanese culture and its identity. It would be unfair to the Akita breeds as a whole and to this show not to speak of one particularly famous Akita, Hachiko. Hachiko was born in 1923. He was owned by Professor Unio of Tokyo's Imperial University. Every day, Hachiko would walk with his owner to the train station in the morning and return in the afternoon to meet him. Then, unfortunately, in May of 1925, Professor Unio died at work. Hachiko, unfortunately, he did not understand this, but still returned every day for nearly 10 years to the train station to wait for his master's return. His loyalty and devotion to his owner became a national symbol. A bronze statue was actually erected in his honor outside of the subway station in 1934. Hachiko was still alive at this. Unfortunately, it had to be rebuilt because during World War II, the bronze was needed for the war effort and they melted it down. The statue's been replaced and is still one of the number one visited sites in Tokyo. Hachiko passed away in 1935. The 20th century brought close to the complete demise and extinction of the Akitas. During World War II, the dogs were used for their fur for military clothing. The Akita was nearly wiped out entirely because of this. However, a few dedicated owners and breeders hid dogs in the mountains to protect them, and after the war, a slow and careful rebuild and rebreeding began. In 1937, Helen Keller, visited Japan, learning of Hachiko's story, falling in love with the breed, was gifted 2 Akitas, and she is being credited with bringing the first Akitas to the United States. The American and Japanese lines are very distinctly different and is recognized as so. The Japanese Akita is smaller than the larger, heavier American Akita. Today, the Akita is recognized as a national treasure of Japan. They're still known for their fierce loyalty and their independence that goes back to the mountains of hunting thousands of years ago. If you're looking for an amazing, loyal, dedicated dog and you have the time and effort, the Akita is an amazing dog to own and train. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. And you can check out these other videos here. And stay tuned for more from Species Canine. And as always, train smart.